Coming up tonight on YCN News, area high school graduations begin on schedule from Claremont, New Hampshire to Hartford, Vermont. News from the New Hampshire Governor's Office focuses on residents who can sign up for medical insurance now that Medicaid has been expanded throughout the state. And we'll continue John O'Connor's interview with author Michael Togus. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening and welcome to this Monday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. From Sunapee to Claremont to Hanover to Hartford, Vermont on Friday night and to Sutton, New Hampshire on Saturday, high school graduations began on schedule. Members of the class of 2014, no matter their school colors nor plans after graduation, shared an event looked forward to since they began kindergarten years ago. For Kearsarge Regional High School senior Ryan Havey, a surprise visit during the ceremony by his older brother Brandon topped an already special day. An overflowing Hanover High School gymnasium set the stage for 181 students and their families Friday night, including some guests who brought the family pet along. The 6 p.m. ceremony began with the on-time stroke by the school band. Students filed into their seats, the audience scrambling to get the best view and to let a certain student know they were being watched. Honors graduate and first student speaker Elizabeth Saxey welcomed students and guests, reminding the audience of what exactly the students learned during senior year. Meanwhile, in Hartford, 149 diplomas were handed out, with the top students, Emma Healy and Evan Brown, leaving the Upper Valley for Yale and MIT in the fall, respectively. The steady rainfall didn't slow down the indoor ceremony, which began at 7 p.m. and ended about 90 minutes later. The night's events included a visit and speech from a member of the class of 1964, David Briggs. Not to be outdone, Friday night in Claremont, 87 Stevens High School graduates marked the night at the Claremont Opera House. Principal Frank Sprague said goodbye to the graduates and to his academic career as he is retiring this year. Sprague graduated from Stevens, taught there, and for the last 2 years led the school, including during its ongoing construction renovation. Jenna DeShane and Cassandra Dale spoke to classmates and guests. For the first time in the school's history, both students tied to be valedictorians. Beyond graduations and Father's Day weekend, news from the New Hampshire Governor's Office focuses on residents who can sign up for medical insurance now that Medicaid has been expanded throughout the state. The program is known as the New Hampshire Health Protection Insurance. Residents who meet income guidelines can begin signing up on July 1st. Coverage will begin on August 15th. Governor Maggie Hassan and Department of Health and Human Services Commissioner Nicholas A. Toompas today announced that New Hampshire residents can begin applying for New Hampshire Health Protection Insurance coverage on July 1st, and that insurance coverage will begin on August 15th. In March, both the state Senate and House reached an agreement to extend medical coverage to the state's neediest residents who could not qualify under the nation's new medical insurance law. New Hampshire residents who qualify may have employer-sponsored health insurance but earn an income not high enough to meet other necessary needs, such as rent and living expenses. This is the purpose of the new program. Residents who are between 19 and 65 years old and who meet a monthly income limit for one person of $1,342 are eligible, along with guidelines up to a household of 4. Around the state, the Department of Health and Human Services is holding a series of information sessions on this expansion. Cities around the state are included, along with Claremont, which will hold a session on Wednesday, June 18th at the River Valley Community College. The program begins at 5:30 p.m. For more information, go online to www.nheasy.nh.gov or call 888-901-4999. In other news includes a 60-year-old man from Brattleboro who is charged by police with taking them on a bit of a joyride. George Barber is scheduled to appear on July 28th in Brattleboro District Court on a charge of attempting to elude police. Police say they attempted to stop Barber for a motor vehicle violation around 2:50 p.m. Sunday. Instead, Barber led police on a short chase before pulling over to the side of the road and stopping, state police report. Barber was arrested on the charge and given the citation with the court date. In other regional news, the governors from the 5 out of the 6 New England states will meet at Brandeis University in Waltham, Massachusetts tomorrow morning. The topic will be responding to the growing opioid drug problems. YCN News will bring you follow-up coverage. The event is closed to the press, yet there will be a media session after the conference. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. On Friday, YCN's John O'Connor brought us the first half of his interview with Michael Togus, author and co-author to 23 books. Now let's continue with their interview in Wilmot, New Hampshire to learn more about the unique stories behind his nonfiction works.
How do you find the stories that you write about?
Well, actually, Ron Bird found me. I was doing a presentation just like I am here tonight. Ron was in the audience. He waited for everybody to leave, came up and said, "I have a story. I think you're the writer." And when I heard his story, I was like, "How soon can I be at your house?" It had everything I was looking for, the twists and turns, surprises, you name it.
So, what advice might you have for aspiring young writers other than to write a story about their dad, because it's been done?
Go with your passion, certainly. Don't be turned off if somebody else has already written a book about that subject. Doesn't mean you can't do it with a different approach or do it better. And make the process fun in terms of the research. The writing will always be difficult. I don't care who you are, taking all that research and distilling it down to make it gripping. But the research can be a ball. It's like a treasure hunt. And when you find that key piece of information, you get this wonderful high from it. So even after 23 books, I still get excited by the research.
And all of your books, are they pretty much nonfiction?
All except for one. I did a book on King Philip's War with Eric Schultz, which is nonfiction, all about the war here in New England. But prior to that, I had done a historical novel about the war titled Until I Have No Country. And that actually might be one of my favorite books because you can combine the love of history with the creativity of a character you're inventing. So all the events that happen to this character are true. They really did happen, but the character itself is fictional.
Huh. Well, thanks for that. Is there any last bit of something that you want to say that I didn't should have asked?
A lot of times, the Boston Globe recently referred to me as the master of disaster writing, but I like to think that my breadth of writing is broader, from fun books like The Cringe Chronicles, but another book that came out at the same time, just this last month, is Derek's Gift, and the subtitle is A True Story of Love, Courage, and Lessons Learned. And I call Derek's Gift a cross between Tuesdays with Maury and The Fault in Our Stars. So this is a nonfiction version of a teenager battling cancer and what happens to his life and the people around him.
Well, thanks so much. And I have to say, I wouldn't have ever thought of you as the master of disaster, because I think all of your books really about the courage to press on.
Yeah, exactly. The underlying message, even to the disaster books, is inspiration, that people can press on and overcome adversity.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
And Rose, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thanks, John. If you're interested in learning more about Michael Togus, check out his website at michaeltogus.com. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next few days and then move on to high school sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with lows in the 50s and winds around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with a high of 86 degrees. Tomorrow night we have a 30% chance of showers and a possible thunderstorm after midnight. Skies will be cloudy and lows will be in the 60s. Wednesday we have a 30% chance of rain with highs in the 80s. Skies will be partly sunny with winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Wednesday night will be partly cloudy with a low of 58 degrees. We have a 30% chance of rain and thunderstorms before 2 a.m. We can see clouds passing over us, and there may be a chance of showers and thunderstorms expected Tuesday and Wednesday. As you can see on our national map, there is a large gap between storms. Therefore, we are expecting cloudy to sunny skies from Thursday into the weekend. Now let's take a look at our local community calendar. Tomorrow in Vermont, the Brattleboro Select Board will meet at 6 p.m. In Woodstock, the Select Board will meet at 7 p.m. In New Hampshire, the Lebanon Opera House will host a performance by acoustic Hot Tuna and Leon Russell at 7:30 Tuesday night. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. We have an exciting announcement to make in high school sports. The Sunapee Lakers are this year's state champions in baseball. The Lakers defeated Gorham at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium in Manchester on Saturday. The final score of the game was 6-5. Sunapee had an outstanding season with 17 wins and 3 losses. Congratulations to the Sunapee Lakers. The New Hampshire Fisher Cats will play 3 home games in a row this week. On Tuesday, they will start their 3-game series with Altoona, continuing on Wednesday and Thursday. All games start at 7:05 p.m.